been initially located at the marina front, a short distance from the present abode, before it became too small to accommodate the number of traders' influx. For anyone that have heard of the Ekpe town being referred to as the fish basket of the state, the root of the name lies in the significance of this fish market as a major producer and exporter of fish to various parts of its parent state, Lagos, and Nigeria at large. The category of most food items sold at the market makes it fall into the category of wet market. Fish, as well as wildlife, typically known as bushmeat, are common sights at the Oluwo fish market. The animals are rather brought in alive or dead, and are also sold in the best form that the buyers prefers. However, the COVID-19 virus outbreak created another dimension to the existence of Oluwo fish market in Lagos, as there are high concerns about wet markets being the hotspot for zoonotic diseases that causes virus like COVID-19. This led to the brief closure of the fish market by the Lagos State Ministry of Health in order to reduce the possibility of another zoonotic disease outbreak in the state. In 2021, the federal government of Nigeria started the rehabilitation of the Ekpe fish market to meet international standard. The improvement of the market was designed to meet international standards, improve earnings, and encourage commercial activities.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
When I first heard VOP, I thought they were talking about me because I'm a voice-over personality. But no, this is Voice of the People TV, and you are riveted forever because this is the place to be.
Yo guys, your boy Chella. Shout out to VOP TV. I love you guys.
Salut, salut tout le monde. Suspect 95. Là, on est sur VOP TV. On passe un bon temps. J'espère que vous kiffez. On est au Afrima. On est ensemble. VOP TV.
Don't see me like a fool because I don't do giddy giddy giddy. VOP, you don't know somewhere from Ghana representing live and living color. Yeah, Beam Nation President. Outside with it. Bless up.
Hello, this is Milo from Ivory Coast. Keep watch Voice of the People TV. Regardez la voix du peuple, la télévision de la voix du peuple. Que Dieu vous bénisse. À très bientôt. Love you so much.
Hi guys, what's up? This is Gaze Baba. I am watching VOP TV. Usually you'll be told to not touch the dial, but I tell you to touch the dial and increase the volume. Like, keep it locked. It's Afro Gospel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shego Aronzo. You're watching VOP. Don't change the dial.
VOP TV.
Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of the Locker Room on Voice of the People Television. I am Jerry Apelion High, and we've got a thrilling show for you today as we take a deep dive into the football world with some insightful analysis. I'm not doing it alone. I have the Algerian himself, I like to call him, talking about Hafiz Ogunbanjo. It's great to have you join us on the Locker Room. Don't worry, it's going to stick until I find a new country where you belong.
When does this end?
Yeah, it's gonna stick. It's
When
gonna
does this
stick.
end? Why?
Maybe it's gonna stick. I mean, maybe when we qualify for the World Cup, then
But
I can.
you know, when I eventually get to Algeria, I'm not remembering you. I only remember you as the guy that name dropped me and got me there. But when I'm there, I won't remember you. Anyway, it's good to be here too. Good evening, Jerry. Good evening to the listeners out there too. I mean, it was a night of. Last night was a night of. Yeah.
That man
5 goals in
has a
5
mission.
games plus an assist. I mean, that's a good way to start. But for me, I think Lyon is like a breath of fresh air. As Real Madrid, you have a Kylian Mbappe. Except Kylian Mbappe is injured, that is when you will come in. And when Alonso was there too, there was a Gonzalo Garcia that was, being played instead of Mbappe when Mbappe was out injured. So the chances were not there for him. They were slim. It was like down.
That's the advice I always give young players at that age. You're already doing well. Go to a club where you gradually grow and be able to at least outpace the big boys. You don't just come and start for Real Madrid. If you start for Real Madrid, when next are you going to Real Madrid? It's the pinnacle
that leads me to this question.
Of sport.
That leads me to this question. There's been something that's been trending on social media, right? So there are 2 contracts, right? You are 18. You are 18 years old. Your first professional contract. 2 clubs on the table. 1, Real Madrid. Second one, Crystal Palace, right? Okay, so Real Madrid is saying you're going to be a backup player, 5 million per annum. 5 million euros per annum now, let's put that. And Crystal Palace is saying you'll be a first-team starter, 2 million per annum. You're an 18-year-old, your first professional contract. Where are you going?
I'll go to Real.
To be a backup player. That is it. Now, leave that to Hendrik.
If, for instance, you say Ajax.
Okay.
And Real Madrid.
What's wrong with Crystal Palace?
Crystal Palace,
a first teamer?
Yeah, a first.
Assured first teamer at 18.
Crystal Palace chances of winning titles, 1.
Yes.
Crystal Palace chances of giving you the spotlight.
They won the FA Cup.
FA Cup.
That is what. That was they won the FA Cup. That's why they have the incentive to offer 50 million euros.
Yes, that's why they even. The thing is that is won in how many years? Crystal Palace is not among the peak of the teams that you can graduate from. Okay. Imagine Real Madrid, if they are looking for players.
All right.
How many times would they think about the Crystal Palace player?
But when you make it to that extent, you are 18. You
have to struggle extra.
A Manchester City can come and pick you up. Then from there, you can find a move to Real Madrid.
You have to do more than extra. But if you are playing for Ajax, there's a setup. People already know that Ajax is an academy, more like an academy side. And, of course, opportunities to go to bigger clubs are mostly there. Then I will pick Ajax. But for Real Madrid, for instance, if he's a backup player, he comes in 2, 3, 4 games and shows himself. Even though he don't eventually make the first team, he can move to Lyon, he can move to Ajax, he can move to Liverpool, he can move to any other club, at least within that range of a top club.
Okay.
But if you're going to Crystal Palace, your chances, wow.
Okay, so maybe I should make it
1,000 to 1.
Let me put it in the same league. Manchester City and Crystal Palace.
Man City
backup player, 5 million euros.
Man City all the way. Man City all the way.
You will still go to Man City again in the same league.
I can leave Man City and go to Man U.
To be a backup player, you're a backup player.
Yes, as a backup player, Man City, you can fall to Man U, you can fall to Liverpool, you can fall to Arsenal.
How will your career trajectory be like? Because you'll be shipped out on loan, of course.
Yes,
because
if you're going to be loaned, you'll be loaned to a more respectable. Yeah, you'll be loaned to a respectable side. Look at if Hendrik didn't do well at Fulham, for instance. He's struggling at Fulham.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's going to go? Coventry?
He's going to the Championship.
Would he be going to Real Madrid?
No, he won't. But he will go to the Championship.
Because as a backup player, Fulham, if he goes to Crystal Palace, injuries and so.
I don't know. Let's ask the viewers. Because for me, a first-team player that is still getting chances.
First-team, yeah, I understand you.
Okay.
Your point is very, very correct. But I'm looking at a situation. What if you have injury worries? What if you are not getting playing time? Look at what is happening to Chrysanthus. He was very awesome at Getafe.
Yeah.
Now he's struggling at Crystal Palace. What do you think is going to happen to him if he wants to leave Crystal Palace? We'll be asking
why go back to Spain.
But that's a big ask. Spain to who? For a player who couldn't make it at Crystal Palace? It's going to be difficult. All right, Maya, it's great to have you join us. It's always awesome to be here. Okay, well, we just had to do a trick question and answer situation.
You can pose it to him.
Okay, Maya, it's great to have you join us. So much to talk about.
Yeah, it's always amazing to be here. The household is happy. In the finals. So my wife is treating me very well because my son still won. So it's a good day to talk football. Thank you for having me, Jen.
Yeah, it's a good day to talk football. I can see you're smiling like a church cat. Madame must have given you a lot of pounded yam.
He had dinner. She won. She won the game, so he had dinner.
Yeah, let's wait. That bounce out. Okay, let's see the ground running. Okay, let's start with Super Eagles player. Talk about Stanley Nwabali. The reason the Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali submitted a transfer request to the management of CHIPPA United has been revealed. The South African club were reportedly demanding 6.8 million rands from Tanzania giant Simba SC for the Nigerian international just a few weeks ago, but the proposed transfer collapsed due to internal reservations within the club. And head coach Steve Barker was said to be opposed to the deal, especially with Nwabali having only 6 months left on his contract, a situation that complicated negotiations and violation expectations. And sources close to the club revealed that the goalkeeper subsequently submitted a formal request to leave CHIPPA United, citing his desire for a new challenge and clarity over his future. After internal discussions, the club agreed to his request, paving the way for his exit. Of course, the development effectively ends Nwabali's spell with the Chile boys, with the shortstopper now set to complete a move away from the club as a free agent, opening a new chapter in his career. And I think, Maiwa, what do you think? They should have let him go. Maybe if they had even let him go for 3 million, at least CHIPPA would have still benefited. But the coach was trying to do the Crystal Palace man, Glasner. He was trying to do the Glasner on him, but it looks like the man wouldn't have it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I've always said it. What are you looking at? And for you to allow the contract to, get to the last stages before you start talking about it. I think the moment you do that to a player, you are telling the player you no longer need the player. However, I have my reservation. Is Nwabali thinking he's not good enough to play outside, outside Africa? I mean, how do you leave South Africa to Tanzania? I know disrespect to Tanzanian league or whatever it is. Remember, there's a particular Tanimu that went there, and he went to abroad, and we didn't hear anything about him. Why is Nwabali moving from South Africa to Tanzania? Is it because of the man?
With all due respect to Simba SC, they're a bigger team than CHIPPA United. I mean, they play in the Champions League. This is a team.
And they have a chance of winning.
They are always in the Champions League. In fact, they still got to win in their recent game. Go ahead.
Yeah. I feel Remember United won the league and they were in the Champions League. Does that change the fact that South African league is better than our league? No, it's the truth. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's the truth. I mean, does that mean they are not? The South African league is not bigger than our league? No, it's not. Yes, because they have to give you quota. If you qualify, if you do well enough in your league, you'll be part of the Champions League. I don't think that's a criteria. I mean, why would you move? Are we saying Tanzanian league is bigger than South African league? Definitely doesn't make any logical sense. And I don't understand the reason. And this is why sometimes I don't understand why all these young players, they prioritize money over, moving to somewhere that will be able to improve. As far as I'm concerned, I think moving from South Africa to Tanzania is a downgrade, because as far as I'm concerned, there is no way Tanzanian league will be better than South African league. It saddens me, and it's supposed to be our number one. You are supposed to be progressing, not going back because of money.
Wow, I don't think he's regressing for me. I mean, I just mentioned.
I think he's trying to free himself so that he can make the big move eventually.
I mean, this is somebody that the team are actually bottom of the table right now.
CHIPPA is struggling.
South African League, they are struggling, and since they joined them in 2022 from Katsina United, I think he has considered over 70 goals. He has considered 16 this season, 11 start. so for me, I mean, he's not even like he's not even in the best of shape.
I think in 76 games, he had about more than 20 clean sheets, which is really decent.
Not bad.
And the fact that he's considering
is that decent for Nigeria's number one? Nigeria's supposed number one.
Yeah. If your number
There's
one,
no team that's actually
if your number one is in CHIPPA United, you will concede goals.
If your number one is in CHIPPA United, but he had
even if England number one is in...
Well, England's number one is play for Everton.
Yeah.
And you know Everton can...
How many goals have Everton considered this season alone?
Yeah, but I think Everton is even having a better season. But whenever...
They are considered. They are usual... Look at your man, your man. What's his name again?
Onana.
He was Cameroon number one. Man United or 4 people.
They've shipped him out.
The guy was constantly goes for fun. Money after the evening. It was 3 cost me for him. Considering of goals.
But Jerry,
that doesn't change the quality of the goalkeeper anyway.
Yeah, Jerry, you said something. You said England #1 is playing for Everton.
Yeah, I said that.
Everton plays in the EPL. England #1 did not leave Everton and go to Latvia to go and be playing there. Coventry is even better.
If the Nigerian league is doing well, I don't think Nwabali has any reason to go to any league in Africa. If the NPFL was doing well,
I think one thing is this.
You are correct.
One thing is this about my the thing is that fine, the Tanzanian league is like a step, let me say, below, according to the rankings, it's a step below to the South African league, right? But if you look at the team now, not the league, look at the team. Simba is bigger than most teams that are playing in the PSL this season. Because Simba, you know how they can be when they are playing in the Champions League.
They also have good players, so they buy players
for me, it's a step up for him.
For CHIPPA United.
From CHIPPA United to Simba, I think it's a step up for him. But the thing is that does he have good agents that can, negotiate top clubs?
He needs to invest in a good agent.
I mean, we have a certain, what's his name now? Zoho. We have him in Europe. Why can't we push Nwabali to Europe? Why are we talking Simba? I will agree with that for my hour. But for me, I think does the man have the quality? That's the question. Whenever he dons the jersey of national team of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, yes, we've seen.
Are you contesting the quality of Stanley Nwabali?
It is not that high quality. It's not a high quality.
He's a good goalkeeper. He doesn't need to be a world-class goalkeeper.
I know he doesn't have to be a world-class goalkeeper, but he's Nigeria's #1.
Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper.
You have conceded over 70 goals in 4 seasons.
You can't take it away from Stanley Nwabali. He's a very good goalkeeper.
All right, good.
Yeah. Mario, go ahead.
Jerry, the thing is this. Goalkeeper should not be in our national team. And let's be honest, yes, he has done his bit for the national team. But you cannot compare a Stanley Nwabali to Vincent Enyama. Vincent Enyama, build his skills from Nigeria here. And he was good enough to stay as #1 before he even moved to Europe. Stanley Nwabali is not at that level at the moment. So the thing is, we are going back. There was a particular day we were talking about the Nigerian team, and we are talking about the players that are good enough on their day. We don't want players that are good on their day. We want players that are very good
every day.
To be honest with you, yeah, they are very good every day. Even when they're having a bad day, they are still good. And with due respect to Nwabali, I don't think he's good enough to be our #1. That's just the honest truth. It doesn't inspire confidence, when you have him in the goalpost. And that's just as far as I'm concerned, the #1 position for Nigeria is still up in the air. And I hope, we have a coach, I hope HL can have the convenience to be able to find a stable #1 to create a competition that will probably see a better goalkeeper than Nwabali. Nwabali, respectfully, should not be Nigeria's #1.
Wow, I don't know where this is coming from, but I think Stanley Nwabali, for me, he has already paid his dues as far as the Super Eagles is concerned.
What dues?
He was given a chance out of nowhere at the last African.
No, he took it well.
Yeah, the last two African.
Well. Yes.
He did well.
Yes.
He sold himself and he did very well. And he continued on to the next AFCON. Let's not forget, this guy was very instrumental in that Super Eagles side, making it to the semi-final and eventually which they lost, which was really not his fault. Yeah. Because his penalty decided not to score. But with that being said, they also won the bronze. But let's now...
should I blow this argument for that?
Wait, let me not take it further.
Let me ask my question.
I just want to land.
Okay,
let me take it further.
Go ahead.
If, for instance, there's any goalkeeper that is better than Stanley Nwabali, that is available, yes, Stanley Nwabali, his #1 position should be contested. But going to the AFCON...
So we don't have?
Yes, going to the AFCON...
is not enough?
Going to the AFCON...
Go ahead.
Maduka Okoye was given his chance. We all know the story. He was given a chance at the 2019 AFCON.
2019 to 2020.
After that 2019 AFCON,
okay,
he voluntarily said he doesn't want to play for the Super Eagles anymore. Nobody forced him. No, the NFF did not influence him.
Because of the backlash he suffered now.
Yes.
You know how it went now. Just because of the backlash he suffered now.
You know how many backlash Nwabali has also suffered? But it may not be comparing to Maduka Okoye's own.
Okay.
But does that mean that a goalkeeper, yes, you are good. Your mentality is also very important.
Okay.
And I've seen situations where Maduka Okoye loses concentration. That was why we considered that goal against Tunisia that ended us at the knockout stage.
Okay.
So Stanley Nwabali has his own shortcomings. But his shortcomings, we can still do with it because he's consistent. He shows up when he's needed, and of course, he's not carried away. Maybe because he's still playing in the South African League, he's not playing. Maybe because Maduka Okoye is an Igbo boy, he can still he can still use his influence based on the fact that he has dual nationality and so on and so forth. Yeah. But that being said, Stanley Nwabali is the one that is available. And if there's another goalkeeper that shows that is better than Stanley Nwabali, when given the chance, they should also do the job. Yeah. That's it. So, but as long as Stanley Nwabali has been doing the job and is the #1, I think we should give him more due respect.
Jerry, their position is contestable enough. Maduka Okoye has shown signs, even when he went on suspension. Even when he ran away, he wasn't the best goalkeeper.
An opportunity to contest to Stanley Nwabali for the #1 spot.
Let me even take you back for that.
So is that the goalkeeper I want to rely on? I cannot rely on the goalkeeper who doesn't want to contest for the #1 position.
Jerry, let me take this argument further. Was he of high quality during the Nations Cup, or the defense was good? The defense was good. How many shots did he face? How many saves did he make? We should not try to just come and say he's one high quality goalkeeper and he's given for CHIPPA United. Since that 2023 performance at the AFCON, he has not moved from CHIPPA United. And has been considering goals left, right, and center. They are bottom of the league. Jerry, don't do that. Don't do that.
Anyway, let's have this conversation
but Jerry.
All right.
Yeah, but the thing is this. We are talking about Okoye. Remember when Nigeria started attacking Iwobi and the rest of them, they said they were not going to play for Nigeria again. The same thing happened to Okoye when he considered that, but yes, it was his mistake. He considered that goal in 2019. Everybody came for him. Everybody attacked him. Iwobi and a whole lot of players, they came out, they complained when people attacked them because of their performance at the Nations Cup. Remember the Nations Cup that we got to the final, a lot of people complained about Iwobi. A lot of people complained about Victor Osimhen. And yes, they were able to take the criticism, and Nigerians came out. We came out on this show to criticize those criticizing them. And they tried to reverse that decision and came back to the national team. The same thing happened to Okoye. And I think we should cut him some slack. He's back in the national team. He has not been given enough opportunity. I don't think the #1 opportunity for the Nigerian goalkeeper position has been put up in the air for anybody to contest. It's more of, we just give you one game, the next thing we are seeing Nwabali again. And that's not supposed to be so. If the competition was very live, Nwabali would have been on his toe. How do we justify a goalkeeper that has considered 76 goals? How do we justify it as our #1? It's not justifying.
Please. Anyway.
What? You want to say considering goals is not...
These 76 goals of a thing, I think it doesn't fly for me. Yeah. Okay. Because if you are keeping for... Even a Man United goalkeeper can consider... I think it's more than 200 goals.
Why are you slating Onana?
Yes. No, now.
Why are you slating Onana?
If Onana is doing it and he's still #1 in Cameroon.
He's not #1 in Cameroon. He didn't go to the Nations Cup.
It was just his last one.
He didn't go to the Nations Cup.
He has become #1 since.
No.
Even their World Cup qualifiers, he was #1.
But do you remember the last Nations Cup?
It was just his last AFCON.
The last Nations Cup, he was dropped too.
He was there, but he still keep until he had issue with Eto'o. That was when he was dropped.
No. He was dropped during that Nations Cup.
He was their #1 at the Nations Cup. Someone that came again. He wasn't dropped. No. He didn't play the first game because he wanted to play for Manchester United.
Yes, when he came back and he considered 3 goals, he was dropped.
3 goals, and they dropped him.
He was dropped. The same you that is slating Onana, say something else. You can't cause some slack for Nwabali. No, you can't. I won't allow you.
What has Onana done for this?
What has Nwabali done?
What is Nwabali's performance with Super Eagles that is questionable to you? That makes him he doesn't deserve #1.
His antics, #1.
Which antics?
His antics.
Which of the antics?
His needless coming out of the box when we don't need him to. We saw how he led to goals for that the Super Eagles conceded. We saw that. And that.
Who is a better goalkeeper now than Kampenchi?
Maduka Okoye is a better goalkeeper than Stanley Nwabali.
Maduka Okoye.
Yes. Okay. You know this now. Maduka Okoye is better than Stanley Nwabali. You know this now.
Let's see. Maduka Okoye has his flaws. If I name them, this show will
not. What are his flaws?
Let's not even talk about that. Let's not even get into that conversation. Maduka Okoye is very much distracted. He's always distracted. The facts are there. He's always distracted. We see that his performance for the Super Eagles is quite different from when he's playing for Udinese. Let's not even go into that conversation. Stanley Nwabali, he has done his best for the team and he's doing well. He's the #1, period. Anyway,
I will let you have it.
Let's go to the NPFL. KUN KHALIFAT FC announced their immediate withdrawal from the NPFL following disciplinary action taken against the club for failing to honor their March the 24th fixture against El Kanemi Warriors. And the controversy arose on Monday when the newly promoted side, who currently sits at the foot of the league table, failed to appear for the scheduled match. In response, the NPFL board charged the KUN CHALIFAT with violating the league's framework and rules. As part of the sanctions, the league deducted 3 points and 3 goals from KUN CHALIFAT, awarding them to El Kanemi Warriors. The club was also handed a suspended fine of 10 million naira, which would be enforced should a similar offense occur before the end of the 2025-2026 season. And KUN CHALIFAT were given 48 hours to appeal the ruling. However, instead of lodging an appeal, the club issued a statement on Wednesday night confirming its decision to withdraw from the league. And of course, the thing is out there, but currently the media officer has been denying that they've not left the league, that they are planning to play their game against the Shooting Stars this weekend. So it means that maybe there's conflicting agreements whether to pull out or not. But taking a look at what has happened to KUN CHALIFAT, is it enough reason for them to withdraw from the league?
I mean, there are some things that the NPFL takes that is not, is somehow very, very questionable. I mean,
This is a suspended sentence. They say if they commit it again, they will be fined 10 million.
Of course, they will be. You can't just say you are withdrawing from a league just because a date or a venue was changed, for you. But for me, I think it's still down to the league management. I mean, taking them to go play a game from Enugu to Maiduguri. I mean, we know how things are in the country in terms of is their security guaranteed. We know how jet lag. I mean, it's like moving from one pole to the other one.
There's nothing like jet lag. It's road frustration.
Road lag.
They said it.
It's still jet lag now. After a long journey now. It's after a long journey.
I think the rest of those who fly by air. So these guys don't fly by air. All right.
Whatever name you want to call it, they might be stress, fatigue, and all of that. So for me, I think it's still down to the league. But it's good that statement that we saw on our screen earlier, which shows that they are back to NPFL action. I mean, they've not had the best of seasons. In fact, it looks like they'll be going back to the NNL very soon, and you can see that they've urged their fans to turn out in massive numbers.
Why did they change their mind? I thought they were angry and said they don't want to play again.
A team that is bottom of the table that still wants to pay 10 million naira? To who? For why? What? So they must have spoken internally and said, look, let us come back to Premier League action. But it's still sending the message to the NPFL management that, look, these players, if their safety is not guaranteed, don't let them go far. Let them meet, at a certain point. It is not their fault. It is not the league's fault. It is the situation of the country.
No.1, some have said that just run an abridged league. Insecurities are the highest.
What has abridged league given us? I think we are beginning to enjoy,
you are running
league for the past 2 years.
You are running a high-risk league, for instance.
Yeah.
Where at the end of the season, the winner doesn't get anything reasonable.
If they run an abridged league, Jerry, it's still the same thing. Teams still have to go away.
And there's no resources financially for this club side. KUN CHALIFAT, for instance, is a privately owned club. I've always said, if you are a private owner, don't buy a club side. Don't go into the NPFL. Run an academy and be churning out young players and be selling.
How many clubs will be in the NPFL if they are not privately owned today? How many clubs will be in the NPFL?
If they are not privately owned.
If they are not privately owned, without the help of private owners, how many clubs will be surviving even in the NPFL?
So you want the persons to be pouring water in Soto baskets?
It is just what it is.
So I should just, because okay, maybe the money misroad.
No,
if you have enough money to throw away.
It's okay. Are you telling me the Sporting Lagos project was money misroad? The Sporting Lagos project was good.
You are saying Sporting
now
Lagos.
They are in the NLL. Yes, the quality of football was not there. But the Sporting Lagos project was good.
Sporting Lagos. Have you had an interaction with the management of Sporting Lagos, and they will tell you how much losses they made playing in the NPFL?
Well, I don't think they made a lot of losses in the NPFL.
You need to hear from these club owners for you to understand the losses.
I'm not saying
the losses of running a privately owned club.
I'm not saying they're not going through it. Of course they are. But what I'm just trying to say is that without them too, how many clubs will be surviving in the NPFL?
The government should keep running the way.
Concerned about the clubs they are running.
Yeah, the government should keep running the way they are running it because they are not ready. They are not serious.
It just means that from the top to the bottom, everything is rotting.
Then why should a private owner waste his money on such a venture that they are not ready?
Because these players, there are a lot of players that want to play ball.
Yes, run an academy.
Right?
Run an academy.
Run an academy from there to where?
From academy, players are moving. See, as we are talking, players are going to the airport, are going to be making a move abroad.
How are we going to improve our league if you keep turning our players abroad?
If the private owners are allowed to run the league, then you can invest.
Fine, okay.
But since the government still wants to have a hold on the league and let it rot the way it is and make a mess the way it is, why should I invest my hard-earned money on that league when I know that? Come on. Anyway, Mario, I would like you to react to that.
Well, the thing is, I think the government should cover their head issue. First of all, the government needs to create an enabling environment for the league to thrive. The security situation is terrible. Even traveling for away matches, you'll be reading the Lord is your shepherd and the rest of that. That's number one. Number two, we found ourselves in this terrible situation where security is not that good. I would have expected the league to come up with a regional league. We have a Southwest League, a Northwest, the 6 geopolitical zone. Have teams from there compete. Then the top teams from that particular location have them, probably bring them to Lagos or somewhere safe in the country. They do a ram robbery, tournament and determine the league winner. It's been done in the US. It's been done in various locations, and we can also do that because of the security situation at the moment. The 20 teams that we are running is not sustainable. The private owners, they don't have enough money. The traveling on the road is terrible. The security can't be guaranteed. Even the distance is crazy. And most of these private owners, they can't afford to put their players on a plane to run away matches. You see players getting to an away game. Somebody, for example, you are traveling from Ijebu now, Real Stars are traveling from Ijebu to Maiduguri or to Katsina. It takes about 2-3 days. It takes about 2 days for you to get there.
And this is the second time back to back. They played Barao, and now they are traveling again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fair.
Yeah, and you're doing that. How do you sustain that? They get there maybe 24 hours to the next match, and this is what contributes to home team win syndrome because the away team is already tired from traveling since they can't, afford it. And number 4, which we can also do, the case of KUN, KHALIFAT and the rest of that, this is not the first time, teams are dropping out of the league. And it's a disgrace. If we cannot afford to have a 20 league team, we can do 10 league team. There are teams in Europe that do these things. It's not necessary we have 20 teams. A lot of these 20 teams, how many of them are comfortably playing their players? How many of them out of the 20 teams that we have? How many? You can count on one hand how many teams out of the 20 are playing their players and are not owing them. Is that a league that we expect to grow? Also, the prize money is very poor. You play for a whole year, you spend a whole lot of money, and you are getting 150 million. When the money you are using to run the club is more than that. Remember the last time, I think, is it the general manager of a particular club? I think Ikorodu City or thereabout that was on this show. He was saying if they qualify for Europe, they have to go and do Bambi Island with Lagos State government to sponsor them. It's as bad as that. Even the prize money is not able to run the club. So I think we need to go back to the drawing board and reorganize our league and see what will work for us. It's not necessary we do 20 teams because at the moment it's not working.
Jerry, what's even more embarrassing is that now there are like 2 conflicting situations because even one of the NPFL chiefs, he said it on another platform when he said they didn't get an official communication from the club. And
the club said they communicated to them, and they didn't reply.
That they didn't get a response.
See, it's like
just say request not granted. It's simple.
Administration of football in Africa.
Just say request not granted.
It's analog.
You just heard them like that.
They will have to walk to the league board chairman's house face to face and tell him, we can't make it. So that's the only way they will answer you.
I'm not even justifying what they did.
They will do as if they did not see your. See, it's really difficult. Unless maybe the chairman has a relationship with the chairman of the NPFL, the LMC. That is when it will be granted easily. If not, they will tell you to write letter or you send somebody to go and meet the chairman or the secretary one-on-one.
This one
to plead before they will accept, okay, you are not going to play in that match.
This one is not even funny. Like, you didn't even attend to the letter that they claimed they wrote to you. Now you are saying you did get an official communication. So that means they just went to announce it on maybe a social media platform or a social media platform or, in the media.
That's the best way. Well. If you want to get your information, you have to go on social media and say, on behalf of KUN, KHALIFAT, LMC, please, we will not be able to come for this match. Please do.
Now,
that's
you're not even looking at that. instead, I don't want to say you sort of threaten them with a fine. Now they are back to the NPFL. Now they are playing shooting stars.
By force, by fire.
Now, what we don't even know, but I'm somehow sure that they are still going to travel to that place, to that Maiduguri which player Kanemi. This is not right. It's not
no, they've already forfeited their 3 points. I think KHALIFAT should forget about that 3 points.
It's not a good thing. It's not a good image on our football. I don't know where the NPFL management is going from.
See, we should not be
just
running.
when we are enjoying it.
We should not even be running a league now because the state of the country, economically, running a league is not economically, how would I say? It's not adding anything economically.
It's going to add to the already bad economic situation because there are players that will be jobless.
Insecurity is on the high rise. If I'm a player, I'm playing the NPFL. I will sign my contract. I'm not traveling outside. If I'm playing in the south, I'm not traveling outside the south. If you are going to go on your own, I will forfeit the money of going to those places. Because even cameraman will not be there to even watch your game. So why am I risking my life?
That's happening.
Yeah, it's not going to be on TV.
There was an Arsenal player
people are not going to see me. Maybe the only time they will see me on TV is when we are playing the game in the south. That is in the southwest. So why am I risking my life for
not to play home games? And when the away games are within the south, that's when I will play.
We will sign it. If you are not signing, I will stay in my father's house or stay in my house.
It's just so.
I don't have risk my life to be doing chess game because I want to play the NPFL. I want to be patriotic. But we know how Nigeria has happened to many people. So don't go and lie to yourself to be an example. Anyway, that's the story for another day.
We hope to be better.
We hope, yeah. I wait for that day. Anyway, let's talk about the Falconets, where the head coach of the side, Moses Aduku, has expressed confidence in his team's preparedness and mental resolve ahead of Saturday's decisive third-round clash against Senegal. Senegal's Lionesses de la Teranga in the Poland 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers. And that game will be happening at the MQ Abiola Stadium out there in Abeokuta this Saturday. It's going to be a very interesting game. The Falconets should be able to take this one, Maiwa.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have to do it, irrespective of whatever thing that our FA used to do to our girls. And I hope this time around, it will not be the last time that we were giving these girls. I think it was the under-17. We were giving them 1,000 as camp allowance. I hope the same thing will not happen this time around. The way our FA treat our girls is terrible. Even the Super Falcons, they took private owner to make them comfortable in Abeokuta when they were camping for the last WAFCON. It's as terrible as that. I'm hoping this is not the case. I'm hoping they get all the support. But with that said, I think we have enough quality to be able to dispatch the Senegalese side. I'm looking forward to the Falconets. I mean, that's a pipeline to our Super Falcons. It's been a while. We've seen players grow from that rank to the Super Falcons team. I'm hoping this set will be able to produce 1 or 2 players that will be able to look forward to that game. I think we have enough quality on this side.
Yeah, enough quality, and of course the players to look forward to as far as the Falconets is concerned. There's one midfielder, Ramo Tala Karim, expected to provide creativity and pace, while Shakirat Mushood's composure and work rate will be vital in maintaining balance for the Aduku side.
Yeah, I think moving the match, the fixture to the MK Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta, I think it's a good one because that's like the stadium in Nigeria after the Uyo Township.
Nigeria likes new things now.
That's where they are moving everything out. I had the opportunity to look at the place sometimes last week, and I could see that, it's not a bad job done there. I remember how that stadium used to be in the passport. With all the renovations, we've seen games. Raymond Stars also played there against Sundowns and all of that. And this one, moving it from Ibadan to Abeokuta, I think is a good one. Giving them the environment to say, look, it's a standard pitch, it's new, you can play on it and get your games right. And yeah, one player I actually want to point out is Shakirat Mushood because she's a very, very, very good player, and of course I believe that she's going to lead. Was it not the young player? I think she was nominated for young player at the CAF Awards. She's a fantastic player, Shakirat Mushood, and it's good to see her again, trying to play for the Falconets and trying to get a World Cup ticket. So I feel like they are going to get a good game against Senegal and Abeokuta. And the Moses Aduku-led girls, we hope to see them in Poland.
All right, hope to see them in Poland, definitely. And of course, let's go on to the Carabao Cup, where Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola wants the English Football League to change their rules to allow Mark Guehi to play in the Carabao Cup final against Arsenal. Gueye was ineligible to play as City completed a 5-1 aggregate victory over Newcastle in Wednesday's semi-final second leg, and is also set to miss out when they take on the Gunners on 22nd March at Wembley. And of course, City signed the 25-year-old England centre-back from Crystal Palace after their 2-0 first leg win over the Magpies. However, competition rules dictate that he had to have joined them prior to the closure of the winter transfer window or the first leg of the semi-final, whichever is sooner to be eligible to play. And of course, City's other January signing, talking about Antoine Semenyo, arrived at the club from Bournemouth 4 days prior to their trip to the northeast for the first leg against Newcastle, in which he scored. Okay, and I think it should not be Oliver Twist. Yes, because the City have already benefited from one rule change this season that allowed the players to play for 2 teams in the same competition instead of being cup-tied. Now he's asking for too much, Oliver Twist.
Well, you can't blame Pep Guardiola. I know he's trying to ask for too much, just like you said, but you can't blame him because if you look at City's defense, it's like they're in shambles right now. I mean, let me say the surviving centre backs they have now at this point, the ones that are not injured. There are certain Max Alain, their boy that they bought from Watford. They bought him back, they recalled him from his loan.
He was also cup-tied and he still played.
Also cup-tied.
So what else do you want?
He still played. The rule favoured them at the time.
Yeah, the rule favoured them.
They say have likes of Kusanov and Netanyahu, but it now seems that it doesn't really depend on them. He has seen what Maguire can do. So now he wants Maguire to come and play. And of course, you can't blame him, but then rules are rules, to be honest. I don't see the FA trying to bend the rules over.
They should not.
Just
for
a player and to come and play in the final, because if the player goes on to score the winning goal, Arsenal will revolt. That this is not done.
I will
this
be
is
the
not
lawyer
done.
of Arsenal. I will join the lawyer.
This is
I will
not
join
done.
the legal team.
It's not
in
done.
fighting that case.
So I think it should just let it be. Rules are rules, like I said. And of course, let's see what they can do. Who says they can't win the game without Maguire? Who says they can't win the game? Though he has brought in a breath of fresh air to that defense. I mean, in his first game, we saw crucial blocks he made. Then in the game against Tottenham, even the first goal of Tottenham is still debatable. That Dominic Solanke kicked him, from the back. He kicked his heel. So for me, I think Maguire has been okay for Manchester City. But going into this one, I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing they can do. Even Antoine Semenyo was cup-tied. Yeah. He was cup-tied, but he benefited from the rule change. So for me, I think that's enough for him. He can go into the game. Without Maguire, anything can happen. It's a game of football.
You can't always have your way. If not, there'll be chaos.
I think Guardiola wants to get Maguire to play. But if more of your players have enjoyed the rule change, why are you complaining? I don't think FA will bend, will bend the rules again for a Guardiola. Definitely, we all saw how important Maguire is. When Liverpool decided to fumble that particular day, Maguire decided to go to Man City and it didn't well for them. And that is the reason why Guardiola is trying to see if he can convince the FA to allow Maguire to play. Because, going to the final against an Arsenal side, and with a defense of Allen, Kusanov that's always afraid in playing out, Allen that, you don't know what you will get from it. Last time he played, it was a disaster. The same thing with Netanyahu. Netanyahu has dropped in form, and a lot of their defenders are injured. I see the reason why, he's trying to make a last-ditch effort to see if he can convince the FA. However, rules are rules. There's no reason to bend the rules. If they bend the rules, and Maguire plays in that particular game, and they end up winning, I think Arsenal will have a case against the FA. So, Guardiola should make do. He's a top coach. He should be able to find a way out of this difficult situation. So, Maguire should be left out of the team.
Yeah, she should stop crying. Of course, I would have loved even Semenyo left out and Alain too, but it is what it is. Yeah, the rules are rules. Don't bend it because of a club. Yeah, it's unfair to a lot of other club sides who have to play fairly, even to club sides like Arsenal, even Newcastle United, wanting to play a player who is already cup-tied. The rules are rules. It should be.
Do you think they can go on to beat Arsenal without Maguire?
Without Maguire?
Yeah. Can they go on to beat Arsenal without Maguire?
Yeah, it's Man City. Man City is always a candidate. As far as they go to the final, they have a chance. Yeah. But he's already afraid.
Because they even go to the final without Maguire.
He's afraid of that Arsenal attack. That's why he's worried. He's worried that his defense will not be able to stop that Arsenal attack.
But if you look at the Arsenal attack, I mean, just like my wife mentioned yesterday, that Arsenal doesn't really have that potent of an attack. How many of the attackers are in the top 10 list of goals and assists?
That is disguising.
It's not disguising. It's what it is now.
See, I would not allow anybody to stay there and underrate.
It's the truth now.
If they don't have it in formal games, that does not mean that
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie, but that doesn't mean that everybody in the attack is not a good threat.
Yeah.
Saka, Trossard,
they are
Courage, Ademola Lookman. That doesn't mean you go and sit down because their numbers is not. You just say, their numbers don't lie. Let me be like a Jessica. They will wipe you.
Do you know City's defenders on another note, City's defenders should even be scared of Arsenal's defenders because Arsenal defenders are the strikers when it comes to the set pieces. So City's defenders should be scared, should be worried of Arsenal's defenders, not the forward.
They should go and sleep because their numbers is saying differently.
The numbers will say the truth that day. The numbers will lie that day.
Anyway, on the cusp of a highly anticipated debut for Spanish giant Atletico Madrid, the 28-year-old Nigerian international, a recent acquisition from Italian Serie A club side Atalanta, is expected to feature in a pivotal Copa del Rey quarter-final encounter against Real Betis, and his potential involvement adds an intriguing layer of excitement to what is already a high-stake fixture for Diego Simeone's side. Real Betis, Atlanta. Hopefully, we'll get to see. He said he prefers to be called Mola. Okay, that's new. Demola. Ade is more like Yoruba way of.
Yeah, it come.
Yeah, Ade, but the man likes it. He prefers Mola. Is this what it is?
Is this what it is?
He said pounded yam too, and Foriro. Yeah, that's quite interesting. His favorite food.
So it was. I don't know where you are trying to go. So should I use the effect of the pounded yam on those players?
I know.
Well, I think over the past few days, I mean, it's been a rave after rave. You know, a lot of people waxing lyrical about his signing to Atletico Madrid. I mean, from the quality of the player to the quality of the club, a lot of people are very happy he didn't make that move, you know, to Fenerbahce. I mean, where you are going to a team that recently won, I won't say recently, but won the La Liga as close as 2021, you know, so that they have a quality manager, Diego Simeone, even though some people are asking him to leave because of his style of play. But then you are going to be there, you have better options up front, the likes of Antoine Griezmann, Julian Alvarez, Alexander Sørloth, Alex Baena, Nico Gonzalez. You have players that you can blend with, you know, and to even make it better, or you even making them better. So I think good move for Ademola Lookman. And yes, but that stadium they are going to, Stadio Benito Villamarin, Real Betis Stadium, is not an easy ground. I mean, remember, Real Betis also have a GOAT of their own, that's talking about Anthony, who has also been doing well since he left Manchester United. And they also have good players like Pablo Fornals, even though Isco is injured, but they have Abdel Zazuli, the AFCON, finalist. So for me, it's going to be a tough game. Yes, I included. I will also be looking to see Ademola Lookman make his debut, and I hope he gets the ground running for Atletico Madrid. A good one for him, leaving Atalanta after all the drama of the pitch and all of that. But yes, I'm sure he left Atalanta as a great man, and he will even be a greater man, a greater footballer at Atletico Madrid. We wish him all the best and good luck. He'll start from their game tonight against Real Betis.
All right, let's see how that pans out. Maiwa, where will the pendulum swing? Hopefully, Ademola Lookman comes on the bench or starts and scores 2 goals.
Well, you have to correct yourself. It's now Mola. This will be the third time he's changing his name. When he was in England, he was using Lookman.
Yeah.
When he went to Germany, it was Lookman. When he got to Italy, it was Ademola. Now in Spain, he wants to be called Mola. So I think Mola would. Probably we get to see him today. I'm hoping he hits the ground running. I'm just a bit worried in terms of him settling in, settling in with the league. But this is a good test run for him to be able to see what he can do. Definitely, I'll be surprised if he starts. Rather, I'll be putting a whole lot of faith in him in terms of his, in terms of him getting on with it. Not to take anything away from him. He's a quality player, and his quality got him into that particular team. He's going to be playing, with the likes of a World Cup winner, a Nations Cup finalist, 2 World Cup winners, actually, Griezmann and Alvarez. These are 2 World Cup winners, that have done so well for that particular team. And, not to take anything away from Atletico Madrid, they won the La Liga 5 years ago, and they are constant facing the Champions League. So the team has a whole lot of quality, and there's a whole lot of transformation in that particular team. So I think Ademola Lookman is going to flourish. I'm just hoping that he settles in quickly. Today's game is a good game for him to be able to settle in and probably get 1 or 2 goals to announce himself as the new Mola that we are seeing in Spain.
All right, so let's see how that pans out. And of course, to the Coppa Italia, Atlanta, former club of Ademola Lookman, are up against Juventus. They meet in the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. with reduced rotations, although Kenan Yildiz and Gleison Bremer are expected to start on the bench for the Barrio Canary. The Nerazzurri can rely on a full squad, while Juventus must cope without Dusan Vlahovic and Akadouis Milik. Italian sources report that neither side is expected to rotate much, even if Yildiz and Bremer are expected to start on the bench. Very, very interesting games, crucial for both sides as far as the Coppa Italia chances is concerned.
Well, I mean, for Juventus, it's been, the season just kick-started when they appointed Luciano Spalletti. I mean, he has brought life into the team because under their former manager, they've not really been doing so well. But the star boy of the team himself, Kenan Yildiz, fantastic player. I think he's going to be leaving Juventus in the coming seasons because he has proven to be a fantastic player. He came in as just a young Turkish boy and he's growing into a man right there at the old lady. A good one for Kenan Yildiz. If Spalletti decides that he starts from the bench, he already has who he wants to use maybe as replacement. A certain Filip Kostic can take the position. But as for Gleison Bremer, I think coming back from injury, he has been showing off really well, getting back into shape, for Juventus. He scored 2 goals in their last Serie A game. A certain Jonathan David is also looking like he has come back into his own. Juventus are playing good football now, the likes of Manuel Locatelli, Weston McKennie also getting amongst the goals. Yes, they will miss Milik and Vlahovic, but they haven't really gotten their own form personally this season. Hopefully, Spalletti can still bring it out of him. Lois Openda is also there. They were also looking for a striker. I was surprised. Juventus were going for a striker during the winter window. They were going for Philip Mateta, who the deal fell through. But I think with these strikers that they have, they should be able to negotiate. They are playing good football. And as for Atalanta, well, will they be missing Ademola Lookman? Time will tell. But Palladino also has been doing a great job, since he got the job as well. They also have good players of their own, the likes of Pasalic, the likes of Charles de Ketelara. They have good players of their own. And it's going to be a tough game. But I see Juventus picking this one at the end of the day because the form they are in under Luciano Spalletti, I think it will continue in the game against Atalanta.
All right, we have pressed for time. We have to wrap it up. Mayowa, your take?
I think it's Juventus they are back on track. Luciano Spalletti has been able to breathe life into them. They've been changing coaches of recent. Now I think they've gotten a man that matches them. Let's see what Luciano Spalletti can do. He has been able to steady the ship. Can they do it against an Atlanta side? I think with their current form and with their current momentum, I think they have enough quality to be able to get past Atlanta. So I would not be surprised if Juventus finally makes it to the next round.
All right, of course, that's how we wrap it up. Big thanks, Mayowa, for being awesome on the show. And of course, big thanks, Hafiz, for being awesome as well. Yeah. Big thanks to the guys behind the scene who made the show great. Talking about the likes of Jeremiah, as well as Alex, and as well as Hassan, and don't leaving out Victor. My name is Jerry Apelohai, saying thanks for being a part of the locker room. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Stay tuned.
Extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides